ABC, oh my goodness, meteorologist Angelica Campos joining us now, and things just got a lot brighter because Isaiah's with us. Hi, darling. You gonna wave at me? Gonna wave at me? Tell me that it's gonna get a lot hotter out there. It's so cute.
We did a live on Instagram and it was really funny. So you guys have to check it out. Yeah, it was really funny.
He liked it.
And he gets to say goodbye to everyone. Well, of course, I've been trying to cover all the bases, Facebook and Instagram, because of the heat that's coming. And right now is just getting started. It is 72 degrees in San Diego, which is not terrible. But of course, if you head inland, the temperatures are much warmer. Look at that, Isaiah. Temperatures have warmed up between 4 to 7 degrees across much of our inland communities. And the temperatures right now are close to the 90s in Ramona, in Julian, 84 degrees in Escondido, 97 in Campo. So the heat is ramping up, and this ridge of high pressure is going to be sticking around. So again, the heat, we've been talking about this for the last couple of days, is just going to stick around. It's going to be excessive, and it could potentially become even dangerous for some parts of the county. A heat advisory officially for our inland communities. I talked about this yesterday, how it would be needed. And of course, with temperatures potentially reaching the triple digits, that is definitely a concern. An excessive heat warning also for our excessive heat warning for our deserts, rather. A little distracted here with Isaiah. As we look at the next 7 days, temperatures will be in the upper 70s for our coastal communities, 80s on Saturday, and also into the weekend. Next week, it continues. So this is just a prolonged period of time with excessive temperatures. Inland communities, of course, getting the brunt of it with numbers in the triple digits as early as Friday, Saturday, around 99 degrees, 92 on Sunday, even on Tuesday, 89 degrees. But the hottest days will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's when that heat warning and our heat advisory will be in effect. If you have to be outside, I would say definitely look for some shade. Drink plenty of water for the next couple of days. In the mountains, 95 degrees for tomorrow, potentially also looking at triple-digit numbers there. And then for our deserts, we're going to see those temperatures approaching 120 degrees. And that will be for Friday. Saturday, 118. The overnight lows are going to be in the mid-80s. So really not a break for the next couple of days with everything moving outside. And I talked about this yesterday with gyms being outside, with restaurants taking everything outside, and temperatures being this hot is just going to be very difficult for anyone looking for a place to get lunch, or even in the evening. It's still going to be very warm outside. So let's keep everything in mind. I will make sure to do also updates on Facebook and Instagram. And if anyone has any questions, we'll make sure to cover that. Right, Isaiah? We will.
Two sisters who are just 11 and 9 years old are starting their own business venture. The Hawkins Sisters are the CEOs of Little Sisters Treats in Colorado. They make sweet treats, and the cheesecake cone is their specialty. There are also two other sisters in town who own a bakery. Their business is named Sugar Sisters, and they wanted to give the little ones a boost.
These are two young black girls who want to own their own business, and with everything going on, we wanted to be authentic.
And then Becca texted me and was like, I have an idea, why don't we give all of our COVID donation money to the girls?
The Little Sisters received more than $1,000 for their business, and the two say they want to hire other girls to help them, and they also want to get a food truck. Now, resorts across the country say they are booked this summer despite coronavirus fears. Usher Qureshi went to one town to find why people are making the trip.
Located along the shores of Lake Michigan, the resort town of South Haven is a drivable oasis for busy urban dwellers looking for a quick escape.
People are friendly, you have the water, you have the boats. It's almost like going to New England in 2.5 hours.
The tourism economy here brings in about $85 million worth of revenue to the area each year.
Lodging represents a little over 20% of the total spend when visitors come in.
But the pandemic shutdown wiped out 10 weeks of business. Revenues for the beachfront community were down 90%. John Marple is owner of the Old Harbor Inn.
They essentially put us out of business.
Forced to lay off his entire staff, he lost 20% of his gross income. Federal stimulus dollars, he says, helped him keep from going under. But once the state allowed for reopening in early June, business began booming. It took just days for rooms to completely sell out through July and into August.
The online reservations just blew up. I had the highest sales month I ever had in June of this year.
It's so busy, Marple has removed the inn from travel sites like Expedia and Bookings.com. Today, the town is bustling. Beaches completely full. Housekeeping can barely keep up with the enhanced disinfecting process.
Right now, it takes us approximately 45 minutes longer to properly prepare a room for a new guest.
Door stickers now indicate when a room has been cleaned and that no one has been inside. But rising COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations in many states are changing consumer attitudes towards travel plans.
With so many visitors coming in from, in some cases, hotspots from around the state or around the Midwest and so forth, how long can we stay safe?
According to a travel survey conducted this month by Longwoods International, 76% of travelers say they will change their plans because of coronavirus, up from 69% at the beginning of June. And 45% say they will cancel trips completely, up from 37%.
We have seen a rash of cancellation.
While the current increase in tourism has helped recover some losses, another shutdown, Marple worries, could be devastating to the seasonal businesses here.
I do worry that business may not return like it has in the past. I think this is going to be an issue for quite some time.
In South Haven, Michigan, I'm Usher Qureshi.
Businesses are showing off their cleaning procedures as they try to assure people it's safe to come inside. Why there are concerns that this is creating a false sense of security with COVID-19.
We want to keep you updated on breaking news we are following, looking at this live picture right now. There's been an explosion at a natural gas facility in Mont Belvieu, Texas. Local media there reporting there are injuries from this explosion, but we don't have those details. It is unknown what may have caused it. We are monitoring the situation. This, again, is in Texas, but we will monitor and have any updates as they become available.
Businesses are trying to bank on how clean their stores and restaurants are as a way to bring customers back. You may have seen the ads. You have the gyms that are showing off just how clean and spotless their equipment is. Now, buses and subways, they are being deep cleaned as well. Thousands of people still using them to get to work. New York City went as far as testing UV light to clean. But with all of this, there are concerns that these efforts really create a false sense of security.
Absolutely a false sense of security. That's even the CDC now says that that's not the way the virus is spread.
Dr. Emmanuel Goldman is a microbiology professor at Rutgers. He says that we're slowly learning how this virus spreads.
We now have evidence from many sources, plus the kind of analysis that I published in my comment, that indicates that we don't have a great deal to worry about from inanimate objects and from surfaces.
Today, most evidence points to the virus spreading through aerosol droplets that are spread from person to person. Dr. Goldman says the number one thing we should all be doing is wearing a mask.
I think masks are the single most effective thing that we can do to protect ourselves and protect others. And frankly, if it was universally used, I think we'd be much further along in controlling this pandemic.
Now, if you choose to go into a public space like a gym, restaurant, or public transportation, people should also be social distancing. Now, the micro-schooling trend continues to grow, with more parents considering creating their own small neighborhood classes.
If this is something that parents really want to do, the options are there for them. It just takes a little bit of creativity.
We're hearing from families who are making this switch to see what it actually takes to make it successful.
You're watching ABC 10 News at 4.
Today, we're getting a clearer picture of the pandemic's impact on one of San Diego's biggest industries, tourism. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell shows us why some business owners are concerned things may not turn around.
Officials say COVID-19 has had a devastating impact on the tourism industry that employs more than 200,000 people in the city of San Diego. During a city budget committee meeting, a report was presented showing the latest data on how much the tourism industry has lost in terms of revenue.
Where we are today, as we know, we should have been celebrating Comic-Con last week, other important San Diego events, including Pride, that were all canceled in person and held virtually. In California, tourism spending is expected to drop to about half of the 2019 total, erasing a decade of growth.
In terms of hotels, in June, the hotel occupancy rate in San Diego was 36%. That's down almost 60% compared to June of 2019. And that's even considering that the average daily rate at those hotels was 41% lower than last year. Hotel owners attribute that to a few factors. First, the cancellation of large-scale events. Second, corporate businesses are keeping their employees at home. People aren't traveling for work much. And third, leisure travel is down. People aren't visiting places, and if they do, they aren't spending. They say all of these are impacts from the coronavirus pandemic, which could have a permanent effect on local businesses.
Some hotels will probably not ever reopen. There are at least 15% of the hotels in San Diego are closed. Now, how many of them reopen, I'm not sure, but 15% is a large number. There are probably 600 hotels. It's like 90 hotels that are currently out of business. So that's a large number.
And experts don't believe things will pick up until the spring of 2021. Reporting from the Embarcadero, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Very sobering news there. Angelica Campos and Isaiah joining us once again on this beautiful day, and it's about to get hotter. Hi, Precious.
I think we needed to add a guy to our show today, so hi.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, we've been practicing so he can say hi to Kim. That's what we said. There we go. Alrighty, let's take a look at our graphics. In Coronado, clear skies right now, 72 degrees. It's actually another nice day near the coastal communities, but if you go inland, boy, it's already getting pretty warm out there. Just not very nice, right, Isaiah? It's just uncomfortable. Morning clouds, mostly for coastal communities. Expect to see fewer tomorrow. Heat danger definitely on the way as temperatures could potentially reach the triple digits. We're talking Thursday through Saturday as the hottest days in the county. So hang in there. This is just getting started. A heat advisory has been issued for our inland communities and for our mountains starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow through 9. Be quiet, Isaiah. We're trying to do the weather here. At 9 p.m. on Saturday, so it's just going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Excessive heat warning as temperatures could potentially reach 120 degrees in our deserts. Again, same timing here, 11 a.m. Thursday through 9 p.m. on Saturday. The temperatures over the last 24 hours have ranged between 4 to 7 degrees warmer than yesterday, expecting those numbers to continue climbing up to 15 degrees above normal by Friday. Temperatures right now, 84 degrees in Escondido, 87 in Ramona, and around 97 degrees in Campo. High pressure is going to stay in place as we head into the weekend and next week, but we'll start to see some minor changes as early as Sunday, only because of some a coastal eddy that could potentially start adding clouds and bring back the marine layer. The winds are also going to be gusting for the next couple of days, so fire danger also on the rise as temperatures climb and as the winds get ready to pick up. Temperatures for Friday at the coast, 83 degrees, 85 on Saturday. Sunday, 82 degrees. And as we head into next week, we'll see those temperatures back in the upper 70s on Tuesday and Wednesday. Inland communities, upper 90s, 102 on Friday. And then on Saturday, around 99 degrees. Next week, we'll start to see 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday as temperatures go back to near normal. I guess Isaiah thinks that's funny. In the mountains, 95 degrees for tomorrow, 90 on Sunday, and then upper 80s next week. Temperatures returning to near seasonable, but again, very warm in our deserts with those temperatures around 120 on Saturday. Kim, back to you.
It's always good to be able to laugh about it, so he found it funny. Thank you, Angelica and Isaiah. And the NBA is back on ABC this Sunday with 2 games right here on ABC 10. It starts at 12 p.m. when the Portland Trail Blazers battle the Boston Celtics. And then at 4:30, ABC 10 News will have a special edition followed by the Houston Rockets taking on the Milwaukee Bucks.
Our goal all this week is to help families decide how to get safely back to school. On Monday, we showed you how to find the scientific COVID tracking number that experts say all parents can watch. Then yesterday, we showed you how a new law protects parents' income if they have to take care of a sick child or if their daycare closes. Both of those stories are on our website. You can find them under the Rebound section. Now, we continue helping you today with the growing trend of parents creating their own small neighborhood classes. If you've heard about it, you'll want to hear what our Alicia Nieves found it takes to make this successful.
On March 13th, our kids jumped off the bus all together. There's 9 of them in our neighborhood. They had 2 weeks off, but that turned into the rest of the school year.
Jennifer Quadrosi in North Andover, Massachusetts, and her 7-year-old daughter spent the end of the school year and all summer social distancing with a group of parents and kids in their community.
We call ourselves kind of the bubble.
To keep her daughter still protected in their bubble, she has become one of many parents around the country considering microschooling for the upcoming school year.
Right now, there are 3 families that are considering it, and that age range would be from 1st grade to 3rd grade. And we would follow the curriculum that was developed by our community and our schools.
With microschooling, a few families joined together to create a homeschooling pod. Quadrosi's playroom will become their pod's classroom.
But we're going to line up desks along this area.
And they'll likely pay an educational facilitator to teach the children.
That could be anyone from a retired teacher to a teacher's aide or a teacher that got laid off.
One of the concerns around homeschooling pods is that there are many parents who can't afford to pay someone else to teach their kids. But there are some parents who are finding a way to make homeschooling pods more affordable.
I am a stay-at-home mom, and I'm very fortunate to be able to do that, and I realize not everyone is. But the other parents that are in this pod are working parents.
Gintel La Rochelle's pod has each parent teaching their group of 5 kids 1 day a week, making it more cost-effective and freeing up time for some parents to work.
If this is something that parents really want to do, the options are there for them. It just takes a little bit of creativity.
Pods can be formed organically with your friends and family, or there are Facebook groups now forming in almost every state around the country where parents are making connections. These 2 moms have learned, though, the key to creating a pod is starting your search early. You'll need time to talk with other parents that may be in your group about mostly creating a new set of rules or pacts for your pod, especially around social distancing outside the created classroom. Because the main reason for microschooling is to give kids some socialization while reducing their health risks.
My genuine hope is that this is just a 1-year thing.
I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
Alicia, thank you. Let's turn to the news feed. The U.S. is moving thousands of troops out of Germany. Now, the plan is to bring 6,400 home, move 5,400 elsewhere in Europe, and about 25,000 will stay. This plan will take years and it will cost billions of dollars. President Trump has said that Germany does not spend enough on defense. President Trump says that he never talked with Vladimir Putin about intelligence that Russia paid the Taliban to kill U.S. troops. He told that to Axios on HBO this week. The president has spoken with Putin at least 8 times since that intel came out in February. Well, there's hope we could soon have a way to diagnose Alzheimer's with a blood test. Now, a test was very accurate in identifying people with the disease. Researchers say it had an accuracy rate of 89 to 98%. Well, your boss may ask you to take a COVID test as you return to work, but can they require it? We're taking a look at your rights when it comes to testing and what the CDC is recommending that businesses do. A group of toys have turned a house into a neighborhood attraction in San Diego. Take a look at this. You might recognize some of the characters from Toy Story. Stephen and Sue Stewart, they wanted to bring joy to their neighborhood, so they ordered all the characters, that's right, Woody, Buzz, whole team, and they put them right out on the roof. Every week they create a different scene from the movie. The couple says that they chose Toy Story because of the message, which is, we're all in this together. Now, a young artist is finding her voice selling t-shirts to support the Black Lives Matter movement. London Hart is just 11. After diving deeper into our country's history and learning about protests against racial injustice, she decided to take action. She started painting t-shirt designs and selling them online and using the money to support organizations fighting for racial equality.
As long as you know what you're doing and you feel like you know what you're saying and you have something you can support, then I feel like you can stand out and use your voice.
The 11-year-old's been able to raise $4,600 so far, and she says she's not done yet. She wants to raise $5,000 by the end of the summer. Well, it is a big concern to think about as parents put their students back in school. If a COVID-19 outbreak happens out of school, how will people know how to respond? Tomorrow, we take a look at what the CDC suggests schools do and why when parents get notified may depend on where you live. But still to come today, we are having a candid conversation with educators across the country about their feelings on this upcoming school year.
Just by a show of hands, who is a little bit nervous about this upcoming one?
Well, that says a lot right there. You can see they all raise their hands, how they say they are balancing concerns for their own safety with getting kids the learning time they need.
Also ahead, helping families stay connected, especially with students learning online.
It's been a community effort where people are chipping in to make sure that kids are ready for back to school.
How Cox is keeping up with the demand and making sure students don't get behind.
Federal officers will begin to leave Portland tomorrow. The Oregon governor's office has made a deal with the Trump administration to withdraw federal officers from the city. In exchange, Oregon will use state resources to guard against vandalism at one of its courthouses. This deal comes weeks after federal officers used tear gas, flashbangs, and batons against protesters in the city. All right, let's start the news feed. Boeing is slowing down plans because of the impact that it's seeing from the pandemic on its bottom line. It is going to cut production on the 787 and 777 jet programs, two of their biggest, and it will also delay plans to bring back the 737 MAX. Of course, that has been grounded after 2 crashes. Well, as colleges figure out what to do in the fall, Purdue University is closing its MBA program. The school says the pandemic sped up the decision because they have just been struggling to meet low demand, and they say other universities are looking to make this change now as well. Well, screen time is a big concern for parents, but Common Sense Media says in a new report out today, you really should focus more on the quality of what they're watching, not the quantity. Now, they point to teens having limited access right now to interaction and learning during the pandemic.